or even like, what do I need to be thinking about to even get started? Like, if I want to get into this career, what do I need to do?
And you're going to break that down.
I'm going to break that down.
Let's get to it.
You with the bosses, you gotta sacrifice. You wanna move like bosses move.
YMA, Young Millionaires Association. Yeah, see, that's the
All right, guys, welcome to the YMA Nation podcast, episode number 57.
57, guys.
I knew she was going to jump in. 57, guys.
Now, look, the last time when
57. I know. I didn't say nothing. Oh, you ain't going to back me up. Oh, yeah. So, like, man, lose here.
Lose.
Real Estate Wednesday. You ready?
We winning over here.
Real Estate Wednesday, huh? I like how you said that. Guys, if you're on right now, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the YMA Nation podcast.
And like,
our YouTube
and
channel. Yeah.
And all of that.
Yeah. If it's your first time on, you got to subscribe.
Right.
Do it. Like, it takes 1 second, really. Just click the subscribe. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Now, episode 57, Real Estate Wednesday. Before I turn it over to you, I got to tell them about the $2,000 drawing.
Okay, you tell them about that. I'm stealing your pen.
Okay.
I gotta.
So, guys, we are en route to hit 2,000 subscribers. When we hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of March, we're going to give away $2,000. If you've been following us on our podcast, we gave away $2,000 back on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, it's New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve. So when we hit 2,000, because we had hit 1,000 subscribers then. When we hit 2,000 subscribers, we are going to do it again and give away $2,000. We have to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of March. We're almost there, though, so I think we'll get it.
Let's get it.
All right, so how do I win? So during this episode, Rebecca is going to give you a keyword down in the comment section. Make sure you see the link. You'll see the link to enter. Just click the link. It'll take you to the website and put in the keyword, and you are entered into the drawing for $2,000.
Easy peasy.
Down in the comment section, make sure you hashtag YMA Nation.
That takes like 3 seconds, so you can really do that now.
Yeah, you can do it while you watch the video. You want to hear something else?
What?
You want more chances to win? Our YMA Nation Facebook page. If you go to the YMA Nation Facebook page, every episode is there. All you have to do just share the video.
Share it.
You share it. Your name goes into the drawing an extra time. If you hashtag YMA Nation down in the comment section, your name goes in an extra time. And make sure you like the video on the Facebook page.
That's a lot of extra times. I'm just saying.
How easy is that, though? So there's going to be 15 $100 winners. So 15 people will win $100 in the drawing. That's $1,500. One person is going to win a grand prize of $500.
Wow.
That's a lot of winners.
I'm going to put my name in the drawing.
Negative.
Negative.
There's a disclaimer that says you can't be like friend, family associated to the company. You are excluded.
I'm just kidding, guys. I wasn't
So let's go. What are we talking about today? Real Estate Wednesday.
Okay, so I've talked to the buyers a whole lot.
Okay.
Talked to the sellers some. And so now I want to talk to some, it's a different type of subject. Different type of subject.
A different type of subject today.
So what it takes to become an agent.
What does it take to become an agent?
A real estate agent. So I thought about this topic because I've had conversations over the last, few weeks, couple of months, where people contact me and say, I've really been thinking about getting into real estate, but I don't know a lot about it. And so I kind of got them through that process and what it's like and, what you have to look forward to.
Right.
Because a large misconception about real estate is how easy it is, right? Oh, well, I'm going to get in, I'm going to make a ton of money and not have to do a whole lot of work. Not so much so. So we're going to go through some key factors as what it takes to become an agent.
Is it possible, though, to get in and make a lot of money?
I mean, it's possible, but...
We know it's possible, but you're just going to break down to get to that level of success. Here are some things that you need to be aware of.
Well, this is more so... if you're considering being an agent,
Mm-hmm.
what you need to make a list of what you're willing to do and things to prepare for.
Okay.
And that way, if you do decide, hey, I want to make a career change, this is something that I'm interested in, you have an idea of how to get started.
Okay.
And like a to-do list to get started, or even like, what do I need to be thinking about to even get started? Like, if I want to get into this career, what do I need to do?
And you're going to break that down.
I'm going to break that down.
Let's get to it.
Okay, so first of all, are you wanting to fully transition into becoming a real estate agent? Or is this something that you want to do for like a side hustle, meaning, more part-time on the weekends or something like that? Some agents do that and keep a full-time job.
Right.
Because they just want to make some extra money in doing it. But we'll get to the money part. But you have to decide. You have to decide.
Can we cut all that out and just talk about the money?
Oh my gosh.
No, we can't. We
decide.
can't. Go ahead.
We have to decide if this is something you want to do full time or part time.
Right.
And do you have time to do this full time or part time? So you have to. This goes back. I really like this because if y'all watched Wealth Building Monday, we talked about processes, we talked about discipline, we talked about accountability, we talked about just things to make yourself a leader.
Right.
Well, as a real estate agent, you lead yourself, right? Because you're an independent contractor. You're getting your work, you're doing your work. Now, you may have people that are going in behind you and making sure you're doing it right, with your brokerage, but you have to get your clients. You have to work for your clients.
You mean that you're your own boss, in a sense?
Right.
Okay, so that's what so explain to them what an independent contractor is.
Well, it just basically means that you work for yourself.
That simple.
That's simple. So that means that you have to be accountable for yourself. You're responsible for yourself. If something goes wrong, it's your fault.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you have to know what time do you have to dedicate to transitioning into this profession. And that goes along with, are you want to do it part-time or do you want to do this as a full-time position? Or I shouldn't say position. I should say, is this something you want to do full-time or part-time?
Right.
And because you're your own boss, you have to have a schedule made and say, I know that I'm going to be able to maintain a part-time type of role, or I'm going to be able to do it full-time because this is something that I want to make my career choice. So you have to understand what you want to do and how you want to do that. You have to have money saved.
To become an agent?
Yes.
Okay.
And so I'm going to explain that because we were just talking about in Wealth Building Monday. See, I like how our topics go together sometimes.
It kind of coincide and correlate to each other.
So we were just talking about what are you doing with your stimulus? What are you doing with your taxes? Well, guess what? If you want to become a real estate agent, then putting that money and investing that money into yourself is a great thing to do.
I always tell people, put your money somewhere that you're going to get a return from.
Right. And what better way than to put it into yourself and you're the return.
Right.
Like you go to, so let's talk about some money, some finances you're going to need for real estate.
My favorite subject. Let's go.
Not what you're going to make, what you got to spend out.
Hey, you got to spend money to make money.
You sure do, because when now in the state of South Carolina, every state is different when it comes to schooling and testing and things like that. But in South Carolina, you have to go and take your real estate pre-licensing classes. Guess what? Those cost money, people. And then you have to take what's called a PSI exam. It's kind of like a state board test if you're getting licensed through LLR. And you have board tests that you have to take. Guess what? Those cost money. And then you have to be with a brokerage. That costs money. Because some brokerages are going to charge you like dues every month, whether you close on a house or not.
Right.
So, or office fees or admin fees or whatever. So that's a cost to you. You're also going to have gas going and showing properties.
Right.
You spend that before you close on a house. You got to find a house to close on a house, right?
And you got to go show the house.
You got to go show the house. You have your expenses like the multiple listing service, which is where all of the houses that agents have listed are. You have to be a member of the MLS to obtain that information.
I started off checking it every other week, just like most people do. Then it got out of control. I couldn't help myself. I started checking it day after day after day. I didn't realize that I was becoming addicted until my wife said something.
What did she say?
She said, "It's just a credit score, relax."
Are you checking your credit score?
Huh? Hold on.
That costs money.
The broker don't pay for that?
No. No. You are an independent contractor.
I'm just saying it because I know, but I know
Yeah.
the people on the opposite side who was probably thinking like, man, I want to become an agent. They're thinking like, what? You got to pay for that?
Yes.
Yes, you have to pay for that.
Yes. This is all money that you spend out before you make your first dollar.
Investing in yourself, though.
Investing in yourself. And those bills are going to come out like whatever, if they're quarterly, if they're monthly, if they're annually, those bills are going to come due whether you're closing on houses or not.
Right.
So when you get into it, you have to be ready to hit the ground running. So, hey, I know that these are all my expenses that I'm going to have, to get into real estate. And this is the expenses that I'm going to have to maintain until I'm able to close on a house, until I'm able to get a client and get that client to the closing table.
Right.
And most of what you're going to make on your first couple of transactions is just going to be reimbursement of all the expenses that you've paid out or invested in yourself.
If you did not watch episode number 56 of Wealth Building Monday, we was just talking. You got to go back and watch it. But we was just talking. This is going to be an interesting point right here on how your decisions impact your future.
Right.
So here we go. We talked about if you had your stimulus, someone said that they took their tax money and stimulus and paid off their car.
Mm-hmm.
So we were saying that's maybe $300 a month.
Right.
Right. Car payment gone.
Right.
So now that person has an extra $300 a month. So if I was interested in becoming an agent and I had this extra money that I went in and paid for the class, I paid the fees, but I'm also have an extra $300 a month because I made a smart decision with my stimulus check and my tax money. So now if I don't close on a house in month one, I still got $300 to cover because that's extra money for me. That's going towards my dream.
Right.
Month two, I don't close. It's not a struggle for me because I have an extra $300 because I made a smart decision months ago.
Right.
That's helping me towards my dream.
Right. Right.
So that's why I always stress that the decisions that you make with every dollar, you have to think of it as a business. Think of your personal life as a business. I'm not going to put out of my personal life if I'm not going to get a return on it.
Right.
So treat your personal life like, where's the ROI? Where's my return on my investment in my personal life?
Exactly. Exactly. And that's something that goes right along with it, the budget part of it, because your personal budget has to be able to maintain those expenses.
Right.
because you're not guaranteed to close on a house. And in fact, many agents invest in themselves, go to school, go to class, pass the, all of the testing, get their license, and then can't close a transaction. And so then they just either deactivate their license and keep it in an inactive status until they, some agents spend thousands of dollars in marketing, for lead generation and obtaining clients. So, and it also depends, some agents start with like family and friends. Typically that's what you see.
Yeah.
Agents will
And
try
that's
to
smart.
market to their family and friends and then kind of go around about. But if you don't have a pipeline of clients coming in, that small pool of family and friends is eventually going to dwindle.
Right.
Unless they're sending
Referring,
you people,
right. There's
unless
a
they're
constant
referring
referrals,
people.
Right.
So, you have to be ready for the good and the bad. We talk about the positives, the pros and the cons, and, you really have to stick with it. Your patience, you have to have patience to be an agent.
Oh, you have to have a lot of patience.
You have to have it. You have to understand how to communicate with people. You have to understand how people communicate because everybody communicates different. So if you don't get accustomed to how different types of personalities communicate, then you really can't understand how to communicate back to them effectively. So when you're in the middle of a transaction and the transaction's gone crazy and you're trying to keep everybody calm and try to troubleshoot and problem solve and keep the transaction together
Right.
and get it to closing, that takes time. You have to manage that time in, and you have to think about, are you that person that understands how to de-escalate situations and being accountable? Is it something that you did to make that transaction either go south, or were you not following up enough, or were you not engaged enough?
Right.
Or because let me tell you, just because you get someone under contract, this is for agents, but just because you get someone under contract, and you'll understand if you decide to go down that path, that doesn't mean they're going to close. I can't tell you how many follow-up calls that between myself and my admin make on transactions. And if we didn't make those follow-up calls, how many of those transactions may not even have went to close?
Right. It's interesting. Lord bless her soul. When we purchased our house, because you said patience, and an agent before you became an agent, she had patience.
Yeah.
Because we were picky, and at the time you don't know, right? You just, I want to see this house. I want to see this house. Hey, what are you doing on Saturday? Hey, and you spend like 3 hours out of that person's life, right? Going to see houses,
Right.
And you're like, hey, you guys, did you like anything? No.
No.
What are you doing tomorrow? Can we go look at more houses tomorrow? That takes a lot of patience.
A lot of patience, a lot of gas, and a lot of time.
Yes.
And that's why I say time management and understanding if you want to be in it. They say to start part-time is the way to go because you kind of get your feet wet and you understand how much time one transaction takes you. And then as you go full-time, you're able to understand that when you're doing an agent full-time, and full-time typically is like 5 to 7 clients per month can be considered full-time.
Okay.
So if you're doing that many clients per month and you're having to follow up and manage and you have more clients coming in that are getting started and you're having to do meetings and you're going to show all these other clients' houses and things like that. And 5 to 7 transactions, I mean closings. So you could be working with 20 clients, but are you doing 5 to 7 closings per month? Then you're pretty much full time. And if you are, then then it's very hard to do something else or work another job.
Oh yeah.
Because go ahead.
Oh, can I go ahead?
Yeah.
I want to go back to this patience thing, and it's going to take 10 seconds, but this is important. that I learned, and I try to encourage people: don't chase the bag. If you're gonna, if it's like your dream or your passion, like I want to become an agent,
Right.
do it for the reasons that the money will come.
Right.
But there's nothing more satisfying than seeing a family close on their new home.
Right. And it is. It's satisfying, and you feel like it was all worth it.
Yes.
You know, it's that sense of
Gratification.
right to you that, hey, you know, once you get the closing table and that person gets the keys, it's kind of like that cloud lifts off of you a little bit, the tenseness of having to try to keep everything together and getting with the lenders and things like that. So
it's done. Yeah, you like
it's
they're
done.
done. And then seeing
and
that
you can just
joy,
like breathe.
and you see that joy. I
right.
mean, there's no better feeling than that.
So I think that how you get started is you want to see, if you're not in South Carolina, whatever state you're in, what are the qualifications? You can do that by, most of the time you can Google, like, what's my state requirements to become a realtor? And it'll give you a list. You can go to typically like the licensing board, and they have what all that you need to do to be able to become licensed in that state. And then you can call the real estate board in your state, and they can guide you through the real estate commission or the real estate board in your state, and they can guide you through the process. But I think the most important thing too is make sure that it's something that you're passionate about, and that you're going to be disciplined and continuing to learn, because once you get in it, things are always changing. The laws are changing, different rules are being implemented, the paperwork changes. So it's ever changing, and you have to be willing to always learn something new.
Right.
So every transaction, I'm learning. I learned something new in that transaction that I'm able to take with me and look at other transactions. So when you first get started, you don't have to be the perfect agent. You try to be. You want to be as knowledgeable in everything as you possibly can.
Dude, you like stole my show. You built this off of my Wealth Building Monday show.
I didn't even know what he was talking about.
I know, I'm being sarcastic, but it's amazing how you were saying earlier how it all correlates to, like the show said on Wealth Building Monday, you don't have to be perfect. It's okay not to be perfect.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
That's just interesting.
It just kind of leads into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because as a new agent, sometimes new agents are looked down on in the industry because you're not as knowledgeable as agents. And you may not.
That's in any industry, right?
That's any industry. But you have to go in like you do know it. That's the thing. You don't let them know you're new. You go in with confidence, and you play ball, you know?
Put yourself on that pedestal.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
you guys better go back and watch Wealth Building Monday.
I mean, it syncs together.
It definitely syncs together.
When I asked him what he was talking about, and he told me, I was like, it is crazy how, like,
you didn't know what my subjects were going to be.
And then my checklist is like very similar, but it just goes to show you that everything we talk about can be implemented in any part of your life.
That ink's still on your hand.
Thanks. Thanks. Any part of your life, it can be implemented.
Yes. I had to point that out because I know people on the camera be like, it's not on her hand. So
thanks.
Yep.
Appreciate it. So take the knowledge, learn from it, and if you are interested in becoming licensed in South Carolina, you can always call the Pyramid Group, 864-249-1437.
And can you give them the key word again?
Agent.
Yeah, I got it. AGENT. Make sure you go down in the comment section and put in that keyword.
He just gonna let me forget, y'all.
I was not. I was
It's
waiting
okay,
on
though.
you. I was waiting on you. Agent is the keyword, guys. Hey, that is Real Estate Wednesday. Good job. That's a lot of good information. Like our podcast just give you everything. Like I don't care what you're trying to do in life, anything you're trying to do to become successful is in our podcast somewhere.
And you can implement it seriously
Yes.
in every aspect of your life. Whatever you're trying to do, just take little pieces of it and say, I can use this. I can use this.
Right. Yep.
And it's going to make you a better person
Definitely. Wisdom.
and more successful.
Knowledge is power. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Go down in the comment section and hashtag YMA Nation. If you got a Facebook page, go to YMA Nation on Facebook and share this video. Do it. The show's over. Log off YouTube. Get off our channel. Go to Facebook. Maybe.
Subscribe before you leave.
Oh, yeah. We'll see you guys on Friday football.
You gotta sacrifice. You wanna move like bosses move.
YMA, Young Millionaires Association. Yeah, see, that's the association.